So welcome back to the second tutorial for the ballad Somewhere Over the Rainbow, a really fun tune to play, definitely fun to reharmonize. And I've made this entire arrangement for piano that I think you'll enjoy. Definitely has a lot of reharmonization in it. In the last video, we tackled the A and B sections. And in this video, we're going to tackle the bridge. And then I'm going to introduce you to the interesting solo section. So there's some differences there between this arrangement and the solo section. And then I'm going to play you a little bit of the arrangement and the solo section. And then in the next video, we'll tackle a lot more details about the soloing. But right now, we're here in the bridge where we're starting on this F major and then the F pedal continues. So you've got this pedal going on here, which I think is really nice. Now you could switch to the G, but I like the F instead. Here's what it sounds like with the G. It's just nicer to stay on the pedal sometimes before it moves on. And this is the section of the bridge that I really wanted to discuss, and that is from here to here, which is essentially switching a little bit to classical music just to make a nice arrangement. Now, the thought process behind this is tension, resolve, but you're doing it with triads. And this is the chord here. It's basically a D minor chord. So A, F, D, and A. Those are the destinations. And then right before that, you're going to precede that with a half step below. So just a half step. And then each chord is basically a little bit different. So if it sounds right, then it's the right chord to play. So in this case, E to F, and then C minor to D minor. If you did C major to D minor, it wouldn't sound right. It's nicer C minor, or C sharp minor. And then A to B, and then E to F. So all together, that sounds really nice. And then back into where you've got the sus chord and then C7 flat 9. So it breaks up the jazz a little bit and sticks in some classical, and I think it's just a really nice sort of gospel-y type addition to this particular arrangement. The other thing that you can do with this is you can arpeggiate the E to F, C sharp to D minor like this. Play the top note and then follow it with the two notes below. Sounds nice faster. It's funny, even if it's my own arrangement, I sometimes and almost always play an F sharp there by mistake. So I did play an F sharp and then I switch it to F natural. Just pay attention to that note because it is really important. For some reason, my fingers always want to go to the F sharp. It just sounds wrong, right? So the melody takes you to this ostinato with B natural and D. So the natural chord to go below that, that sounds nice, is an F diminished 7th chord. So F, A flat, B, and D. Really nice. And then the 3-6-2-5 that follows this is really nice. Really bluesy there at the end. What I want to say about this is just the chords themselves, and I really need to take a screenshot here so I can write on the screen. So like I said, the important part about this is the chords themselves. So this is just 3, 6, 2, 5, and then flat 2, which is basically a tritone substitution of the 5 chord. And it's a flat 2-7 chord, which makes that nice sound where you've got very bluesy. You'll often hear that at the end of a blues tune as the final chord. So 3, stretch that chord out a lot. You've got the root, the 5th, and the 3rd in the bass, and then you've got this big chord in the right hand as well. And then D7 sharp 11 also contains the 13th and the 9th. So this is a D, like I said, 7 sharp 11 chord, which is basically E over D. It's an E major triad. And then G minor. And then this really thin voicing over C7 where you've got the 9th, the 7th, and the root. No 3rd, no 5th, no other alterations. So why does that sound so thin? Well, it's kind of like hitting a golf ball thin where it goes really, really low. It's called blading it, or thin, instead of really, really high. And when it's a high shot, it's a more full shot. In jazz, if you play these thin chords, you need to follow them up. And sometimes if you play too many thick chords in a row, it's kind of not as nice as thin than thick. So you're going from the high on the keyboard down to low, thin to thick. Okay, so that's basically what I wanted to point out in this, along with an introduction to the solo section. Now, the interesting thing about the solo section is the chords here are pretty straightforward in terms of standard changes, what most musicians would know as, like I said, the standard changes to the tune. If you tried to solo over these changes that I've written, this is a reharmonization. It may work now and then, but for the most part, the bass player would kind of be confused as to what you're doing. So in soloing, you pretty much want to stick to the standard changes, and that's what these are. So it goes here. And in the next video, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at some soloing ideas over those changes. Now, I think the thing that's going to be important about this is because it's a ballad, I'm going to put bass and drums along with it and then play a little bit of the soloing right now so you can get a sense and a feel for what's coming. It's really about playing not a lot of notes, but just doing, some lines and arpeggios and some little melodies and things, but basically building that solo over time. So what I want to do now is let me play the arrangement that I wrote out. When I get back, I'm going to post a link to that arrangement so you can download it. But for now, let me just play it and then a little bit of soloing so you can get excited about the next video. And let me go ahead and play that now. Okay, so there's my arrangement of Somewhere Over the Rainbow. I think it's an interesting reharmonization, maybe not the most dissonant, but just really nice in terms of the way the chords fit together. So I hope you can download that and learn it. I'm going to put a link up here in the corner to that sheet music, so you can go and download that now and learn it. And then, like I said, in the next video, I'm going to elaborate on the solo, play a longer solo, and discuss some of the ideas that I'll give you for soloing so you can tackle it for yourself. Okay, that's all the time we have for this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, that would be great. And also, we'd love to have you subscribe to the channel. We've been around now for about a year. So just really getting rolling and getting into a groove a bit. There's well over a couple hundred videos on this channel for you to check out. And I'd love it if you can subscribe. And when you do, hit the little bell, because you'll be notified of the upcoming videos that we're making. We're making quite a few of them at this time. So thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. We'll see you in the next video.